Disclaimer, the comments made in this video are intended for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to offend anyone.
Welcome back, and buckle up for the ultimate compilation of liberal protesters and Antifa getting roasted with facts, logic, and reality checks. Starting strong with a protester who can list Trump's sins, as long as you never ask her what any of them are.
You could give Donald Trump a letter grade, A through F. What would you grade him?
F. He failed. He's terrible.
Okay.
No comments.
No comment. Why would you give him like a million Fs?
I give him a million Fs because he is very similar to Hitler.
He's what?
Very similar to Hitler. He's a dictator. He's not a president.
Okay. So he's a dictator.
Yeah.
Okay. What are some of the main things we think of when we think of Hitler? Like, what did he do?
I'm drawing a blank now. There's music in my ear.
So you said he's a dictator.
Mm-hmm.
In what ways is he a dictator?
Huh?
In what ways is he a dictator?
I just told you.
Just the immigration stuff?
That's one of them.
Okay. Do you have anything else?
I don't have time to say them all right now because I have to go do other things.
Okay. Can you just give me one more in like 30 seconds?
I have to go.
Because a dictator, have you seen all of the protests rising up against him?
I have.
Yeah. Dictators don't let that happen. And ICE officers that you're saying he's a dictator for, it's actually Title 8 U.S. Code 1325 that they're operating under, which is completely constitutional. Dictators don't follow the Constitution.
There's a special kind of activism where passion is at 100% and information is at 0%. It's like watching someone fire up a megaphone only to realize they forgot the script. Strong opinions are great, but maybe, just maybe, know why you have them. Next up, a liberal panel that suddenly discovers silence is golden the moment facts enter the chat.
I do want to say, he's not a doctor and he's not a professional.
Yes.
And oftentimes when he's speaking, he is speaking not with the best information that we can get.
And just to be clear, 90% of secretaries of HHS have not been doctors.
But they've had a science background.
There have been 3.
Yeah.
No, to be honest, one of Obama's secretaries of HHS was an economist.
But the majority of them that haven't had medical backgrounds haven't had science backgrounds.
Wait, don't do anything else. Don't say anything else yet.
Because I do want
we have to take a break.
This is what happens when political talking points accidentally collide with real-world facts. Suddenly the room gets tense, someone shushes their own teammate, and a break becomes the emergency escape hatch. When truth isn't convenient, the commercial button becomes the smartest person in the studio. Here's a democracy defender who loves democracy, just not the parts where people actually vote.
We want to save our democracy.
Democrats had superdelegates. They tried to kick third parties off the ballot, and their candidate didn't have one primary vote to her name. How is that a democracy?
Oh my. I think if you're going to talk about those details instead of what's happening with no 3 branches of government, the Congress not...
Supreme Court shuts down Trump all the time.
Democracy is not our joke. No. What's happening to our
invalid about
superdelegates. You need to be a better listener.
Answer the question. You refounded it.
And you're supporting the wrong side.
You are.
Well, he had primary votes to his name, that's for sure.
It's not about that.
That's democracy, isn't it?
No, it's not.
I don't really even want to you folks anymore.
You can always tell when an argument is running on buzzwords instead of substance. The moment you ask for consistency, someone accuses you of being on the wrong side. It's easier to moralize than to explain why a candidate with 0 votes somehow represents democracy. Feelings first, facts never. Watch a reparations debate crash instantly when someone remembers Obama and Kamala existed.
Why you didn't ask Donald Trump for our reparations, Queen?
Why y'all ain't asked Joe Biden and Kamala for reparations? Joe Biden and Kamala was in office for 4 years. They ran on the whole, like Donald Trump ain't never promised reparations. But Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, that's what I be saying about the politics, right? Like, I'm for reparations, whoever want to pass them. I don't think we ever gonna get them, right? They feel like our reparations is abortion. That's why Kamala ran the whole campaign and did a HBCU tour on reproductive rights because they feel like our reparations is abortion. Like, that's why we can't get reparations, because we keep asking them for a right to kill the kids that we can't take care of. So what I'm gonna give you money for? You gonna go abort it anyway? You don't need no money.
Nothing screams political savvy like forgetting context entirely and expecting someone else to fix all historical injustices on command. It's the perfect mix of moral grandstanding and selective memory, where questions are more about scoring points than actually understanding history or holding anyone accountable. In this hearing, Nancy Mace asks why Twitter censored a doctor, and the answer basically confirms Elon bought the FBI's side project.
Where did you go to medical school?
I did not go to medical school.
I'm sorry?
I did not go to medical school.
That's what I thought. Why do you think you or anyone else at Twitter had the medical expertise to censor a doctor's expert opinion?
Our policies regarding COVID were designed to protect individuals. We were seeing...
You guys censored Harvard-educated doctors, Stanford-educated doctors, doctors that are educated in the best places in the world, and you silenced those voices. Did the U.S. government ever contact you or anyone at Twitter to pressure Twitter to moderate or censor certain tweets? Yes or no?
We received legal demands to remove content from the platform from the U.S. government and governments all around the world.
Thank God for Matt Taibbi. Thank God for Elon Musk for allowing to show us in the world that Twitter was basically a subsidiary of the FBI.
This is peak follow the chain of command comedy. Someone censors a doctor, and suddenly the explanation reads like a government thriller. Thankfully, Elon Musk stepped in and pulled back the curtain, revealing the truth behind Twitter's FBI connections. Proof that sometimes it takes a billionaire to expose bureaucracy. Next is a MAGA woman who gives a protester a free history lesson on fascism and accidentally cures his buzzwords.
Fascism for me.
It is a government that cares more about the power that they have than individual rights.
Fascism historically has been going after people who politically disagree with you. And we've seen, for example, Charlie Kirk last month was shot and killed. And so what happens when we use inflammatory flames like fascist, it paints people a certain way.
I hear you, Noel, but here's the thing. If they don't want to be called a fascist...
That's like me saying if you want lax border policies, then you're an anarchist. It's a false equivalency.
But the right calls the left communists and enemy within all the time.
You do this, then that
I'm just saying,
justifies it. That's not okay.
Look, if they don't want to be called fascists, they shouldn't act like fascists.
In a fascist country, all of the media is controlled by the government. Even though there's polarizing rhetoric, we still have ways for people to express their opinion. We still have ways for people to appeal to civil systems. And so I think that's super important, because when we're calling people fascist blatantly, that's what fuels political violence. Calling people Nazis, we're calling people fascists. And that would be wrong if I went around calling every Democrat a communist.
Here's a lesson in nuance most political arguments skip entirely. Labels matter, definitions matter, and throwing around fascist like confetti only inflames. A MAGA woman just got a masterclass in why history and accuracy might save more than a few hashtags. Coming up, Damon Imani explains the First Amendment to people who only remember it when Trump isn't speaking.
I don't understand how you are the man in charge of the nation, and you still don't understand how the First Amendment works.
For me, I want to start by thanking our loyal viewers for demanding truth and courage from us. I don't understand how in this country, where the First Amendment made to the Constitution was to guarantee freedom of the press and freedom of speech, the government itself is using its weight and power to bully and scare people into silence.
Well, you just thanked your audience for demanding truth from you. Yet, throughout this entire segment, you concealed the truth from them by not telling them why Jimmy Kimmel was fired in the first place, which is that he flat out lied about Charlie Kirk's assassin being a Trump supporter. And when you lie and frame half of the country on taxpayer-funded public airwave, obviously you will face consequences from your employer. Just like how this show had to issue hundreds of legal notices for lying to the country. Okay? So Jimmy was not silenced. And as you know, his show is set to return, which shows just how ineffective Trump is at being a dictator and silencing the media. It's almost like he's running a democracy, which looks like you are against because you cheered Twitter actually silencing Trump's voice when they suspended his account while he was a sitting president. So did your fake victim friend Jimmy Kimmel, by the way. And you have continuously labeled free speech you don't like as disinformation and hate speech to argue for silencing people. So you are not innocent. And frankly, I find it insulting of you to sit here and yet again bullshit the country.
This is modern political theater at its finest. Lecture someone on free speech while applauding its selective suppression. Facts are optional, consistency is mythical, and hypocrisy gets a standing ovation. Democracy never looks so performative. This time, a talk show liberal applauds divorce until Damon Imani reminds her she's basically the Olympic champion of it.
For women out there in America, if you are leaving a marriage, first of all, I applaud you for making a decision for you and doing what's right for you.
After listening to all of that, I see why you had 2 failed marriages. But when you say to women out there, I applaud you for making decisions for you and doing what's right for you, it's not all about you. You make decisions that's good for the outcome of your children, which is to grow up with something called a father in the household. I mean, study after study shows that kids with both parents do better with grades, friends, and future, okay? So I think with that advice of yours, you're basically encouraging women to follow your path, sacrifice their kids to play the main character, maybe have a career if they're lucky, yet still end up miserable like Whoopi.
Damon Imani didn't just respond, he roasted the lecture with facts and logic. While she praised divorce as empowerment, he pointed out the contradictions, showing that personal responsibility and nuance matter more than applause and virtue signaling. Next, Nancy Mace asks the DC mayor to explain her own woke phrase, and the mayor taps out in the first sentence.
So Mayor Bowser, what is a woman?
I'm a woman. Are you a woman?
100%. Okay. 100%.
I'm a woman. You're looking at one.
Okay, good. In section 3-703 of the DC Code, you use the phrase, the intersection of gender and race to create unique dynamics and effects. Can you explain what this means to the committee?
Where is that, ma'am?
Section 3-703 of the DC Code. Do you know what that means? No, you don't know what that means. So Chapter 14D of the DC Code establishes the commission.
I'm happy to answer questions.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to reclaim my time. This is not her time, it's my time. You can be quiet as I ask you questions, and then you can answer them. And then you can answer them. I'm not, Mr. Chairman, this is my time, not hers. I'd like to reclaim my time.
Let's make good use of the time, Ms. Mace.
I'm making very good use of my time. And you're making my point. You're the mayor of D.C., and you don't even know your own code of laws. What is a birthing person?
I would assume it's someone who gives birth.
Nothing exposes overcomplicated jargon like asking someone to explain it. The mayor's impressive sounding phrase crumbles instantly, proving that throwing around buzzwords doesn't equal mastery or even basic knowledge of your own laws. Here's a gender debate unfolding, ending with the military guy diagnosing what the activist calls education.
You are actually kicking out these 3 highly qualified service members solely because of their identity. These are trans women.
So to be clear, these are men who think they're women.
These are women. I'm happy to educate you on
but these are men,
on trans
and so
issues at another
what we've
time.
Identified is that there's mental health issues with that belief system.
I'd like to turn to general
are detrimental to readiness, and that's the determination that we've made and that we stand behind. Gender dysphoria.
And so you don't trust your commanding officers to be able to evaluate the people under them?
The liberal insists on redefining terms while ignoring operational reality. The military doesn't run on feelings. It needs people who can perform reliably under pressure. Ideology doesn't override readiness, no matter how loud the argument gets. Next is a reporter questioning democracy, but the protesters' facial piercings are working overtime, blocking comprehension.
Didn't democracy actually really work? It's just y'all spent a lot of time smearing half the country, calling them Nazis, and that half of the country just said, get the fuck off the island.
Huh? I don't understand the question.
Oh, okay. Voted off the island like Survivor. You may have too many facial piercings to understand this.
A simple question about democracy turns into a comedy of selective comprehension. When laughter replaces an answer, it's clear some protests run on emotion rather than understanding. Critical thinking might need a dress code, apparently. Up next, a campus debate where every tough question gets the same answer. Dodge, deflect, and deny the dictionary.
We have to account for the reality that black people, 13% of the population in the United States, commit over 50% of the violent crime.
And in that sense, I also need to walk around you with pepper spray and tasers because white men are the ones who rape women more. So
that's actually not true. Actually, it's statistically black men are more likely to rape women.
I have done the research. It is statistically more white men, not black men, men in general, but white men specifically that rape more.
For the video, I'll just put up the statistics on the screen.
And it's still Christians who are dehumanizing us still to this day.
Well, I disagree with that. I don't see evidence for that.
Because you're a white man in a white space. You're not in my spaces away from the safety of white privilege.
What privileges do I have as a white man that you don't have?
I am actively followed to make sure that we're not going to steal because we fit a demographic.
Why is that happening?
Because they see me in society as a black woman and make an assumption about me.
Why do they assume that black people are going to either steal something or commit some act of violence?
Racism.
No, it's because black people commit an inordinate amount of crimes relative to the population. You're blaming a society for racism for just like noticing a pattern, for just saying like, I actually don't want to be mugged or robbed or something like that. And here's a demographic who's doing that more often than other demographics. So I'm naturally going to be a little more cautious. Is that reasonable? Why is that not reasonable?
Because it's something that's unique to this country.
What is?
Racism. I can go.
Racism is unique to America?
Not racism unique specifically, but in the sense that I have gone to Europe and other countries and have not felt that systemic racism and me being perceived as a basic threat as a human being.
Try going to South Africa as a white person.
Yeah, that's true. South Africa's white person is really bad. Racism is everywhere.
Kill the Boer?
So I guess I don't even know what you mean by racism, though. What do you mean by racism?
I don't want to go in this, but I do have a question.
The discussion started with numbers, immediately swerved into unrelated accusations, then ended with, I don't want to answer. It's like watching someone unplug the router mid-argument. The MAGA guy kept trying to keep it grounded, but she dodged every question like truth was optional coursework that semester. This time, Damon Imani shows liberals offended by Trump's meme that they never noticed their side's full costume blasphemy.
Tweeting out an AI-created image and the White House official account of him posing as the Pope is disrespectful, it is frankly disgusting, and it is outrageous. And so all of those devout Catholics, I think you need to ask yourself some questions, and I think you need to ask the White House and Donald Trump some questions, because Trump, Mr. President, it's his holiness, the Pope, not his oiliness, the dope.
And you're a sanctimonious joke. But look, the bigger picture is right here in my pocket, and I will pull it out. This is Rihanna dressed as a Pope. Olympics 2024, marking Jesus Christ's last meal. Over here, camera, over here. Don't run, because Trump only posted a meme. But these are actual photos. And I don't see that same energy of yours, Anna, when it comes to Hollywood. Actually mocking God. This is Madonna on a cross as Jesus Christ.
We'll be right back.
Some people treat memes like sacred texts. She's offended by a playful AI image of Trump, yet Rihanna as the Pope? Totally fine. Damon Imani just reminded everyone that outrage is often selective and reality optional. Next is a liberal who claims no Democrat wants free healthcare for illegal immigrants. Until video evidence waves hello.
Legal immigrants should not be getting access to the Affordable Care Act marketplace.
100%, Senator, but what I'm saying is that members of your party are making this an issue.
Well, I can't speak for members of my party, and I don't think you're right. I think you're making it an issue. Vice President Vance is making it an issue, but I haven't heard anybody in my party saying that illegal immigrants should get access to the health insurance marketplace.
I'm so glad you said that. Actually, I have some tape. Let's play the clip.
This is a show of hands question. And raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants.
It's amazing how memory conveniently skips over inconvenient facts. Raise hands on camera, never happened. Deny video evidence, perfectly normal. The MAGA supporter just proved that sometimes facts have a funny way of catching up. Finally, a love wins protester who admits ICE is scary, but forgets identity theft is too.
Well, the left is all about love.
Really?
That's in my heart.
When I go to protests every week, I talk to leftists, hundreds of them every month. And it all kind of seems the same rhetoric and the same policy positions where they want to dismantle police departments.
I think
hold on, I'm not done.
Okay.
They want to abolish ICE. They have tons of signs about abolishing ICE, which
ICE is
keeps
a little scary.
Well, they keep our country safe.
People are here legally, but they're not like residents. But they're here, they work, they pay taxes, and
So how are they here legally, but they're not?
Let me just say,
they're not citizens.
Whole thing of them coming here and using all of our services for free is not true.
Okay, can I offer some statistics that might change your mind on that?
I just was reading statistics. They pay taxes, billions of dollars.
How much? How many billions of dollars?
I can't specifically answer that.
It's about 37. It's about 37 billion. Do you know how much
they pay in taxes?
Yes. Do you know, number one, how do they pay that in taxes?
Well, through their withholding. They have to pay federal and state taxes just like everybody.
Typically, well, no, because they're not allowed to work here. They're not allowed to have a social security number.
But they pay taxes.
Yeah,
Do you agree with that?
Through other people's social security numbers.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's a huge scam that goes on in this country, and that's how they pay into the system. Do you know how many billions of dollars the illegal immigrant community in this country costs the taxpayers?
Illegal immigrant immunity.
Yeah.
All right, that's a mouthful.
Okay, do you know how many billions of dollars the illegal people...
I don't keep up with the billions of this country.
It's between 150 billion to 400 billion.
Let me ask you this. What do you think of President Trump?
Yeah. I think he's doing a great job. But anyway...
Now I gotta go.
Talking about love is easy when facts are optional. Once taxes, social security misuse, and costs appear, the romanticized narrative fizzles. Ideology often loses the moment numbers show up, and logic takes the exit ramp. And that's a wrap on today's compilation of reality checks and epic debate fails. If you enjoyed watching facts slam fiction, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because next time, the truth's coming for your feed again.